Do you guys encourage your crews to work hard for you and do a good quality job, or do you demand it? Stick around and we're going to talk about it. What's up guys, my name's Aaron. We're here in our shop, Exterior Pro. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the tools that you have as a owner of a business, a crew leader, a foreman, a superintendent, some of your tools that you use on a daily basis to get guys and crews and workers, sub-crews, to do what you need them to do. That's really what this video is about. And in the opener, we talked about encouraging versus demanding. Now I see, from my perspective, a lot of people out there demanding things all day long, all the time, making threats. They never seem to touch on these other tools that are available to them, which is to encourage good results, encourage positive outcomes, encourage guys to get in there and get their job done. And I think it's a tool that we should all be using, and I think it's a tool we should be using more than we use the threats and the insinuations that we're not going to pay if you don't get your punch list done and all these kind of things. We tend to go straight to the negative. I think if we would all become a little more encouraging, we'd get a better outcome. The reality, guys, is that when you manage a workforce in today's climate, you need every tool that you can get, and it takes a variety of tools. Sometimes you do need to tell a guy, hey, listen, you're going to do it my way or you're going to bounce, right? That's it. You're going to do it this way or you're not going to get paid. It is going to be done. Sometimes that is the route that you have to take. So I'm not coming from the standpoint that we never have to get tough with a guy or a crew or somebody and say, listen, you are going to do your job because that's just what this is. But what I'm saying is that if we tried encouragement first and tried to motivate people out of their own want to do you a good job, man, it just takes less energy away from you. When you have to make threats and do these things, it actually takes energy. I find that it takes energy away from me, and I feel like I'm trying to push guys over the finish line. I don't want to push anybody over the finish line. I've got enough stuff to do during the day. I want guys to walk across the finish line, collect their pay, and then go down the road and we go to the next job. That's really what I want. So I've got like 3 or 4 little tips on how I think that I could encourage you to be a more encouraging leader to you and your guys, right? Number 1 would be probably think about the ratio of negative versus positive comments that you make to your guys. You know, I'm a pretty tough dude to work for. I have no problem telling a guy if he's doing a bad job, or I have no problem firing people. But several years ago, I made the conscious effort, and I thought to myself, listen, if I'm going to point out all of these things that these guys have done wrong, I'm going to equally point out when these guys do things right. So it's not fair to people to just point out only the negative. No one will want to work for you, for one. I mean, it's a bad way to be, right? So I've made a conscious effort. Okay, if I'm going to tell you that you're wrong here, whenever you're right in an area, I'm going to tell you, hey, you did a good job here. I don't want to be stingy with my compliments. I grew up, worked for a lot of people who are very stingy, act like it'd kill them to give you a compliment, right? And I thought, man, what's wrong with you guys? If it looks good, it looks good. Tell them, man, he done a good job. If it looks wrong, tell him, hey, you're going to have to fix that thing. And then we're back moving. It's not a big deal, right? So tip number 1, keep in mind your ratio. Does a guy do a good job for you and he just got a couple problems on things he wants to fix? Well, then ask him to fix them. Like, what's the big deal? If a guy has done a good job for you, tell him he's done a good job for you. And then say, hey, listen, you did a good job, but there's a few things that I need you to fix, and it'll be a great job. And the guy will probably listen to you. He wants to do you a good job, right? He wants to be a good employee. Most of these guys do. I mean, that's just the reality. So keep in mind your ratio of compliments to negative comments, and try to at least equal them out, or even have positive comments be more than your negative comments. And then reserve your negative comments and your threats for only situations that you are actually going to fire a guy, or that he's right at the limit, and if he doesn't do it, he's done, right? So keep in mind, just don't be negative all the time. Try to add encouragement into your repertoire of tools that you use to manage your guys. Tip number 2, guys, is I would say always start off positive. You can always go negative, but seems like you can't reverse that car and go back after you've made a threat to somebody, tell them you're going to fire them if they don't do it, and then turn around and be buddies with them and ask them nicely to fix some stuff. It just seems like it never works. So I would say always start off, hey, you know, hey, I need you guys to run down here. There's just a few items down there. I need you to go down there and fix them or do this, or I need you to do it this specific way. Can you please do that for me? Always start off positive. It just sets a tone. Again, you can always go and get more forceful, but it's hard to be nice after, if you've started forceful, it's hard to reverse that. So start off positive, start off encouraging. All right, tip number 3 would be, do not characterize the entire job by the 3 to 4 or 5% of the job that you don't like. So if your guys, or the job that you're running, your crew, your team, has done 95% of the job right, don't characterize their craftsmanship and their work ethic and the job over the 5% of punch items that they need to fix for you. That's just the wrong way to do it. They did a good job, 95% of it's right. Give them a compliment on the 95 and ask them to fix the 5. We got to keep in mind the big picture here. It kind of drives me nuts when I do these jobs and the building looks fantastic, it's open, the business is making money, and you've got people just pounding clipboards over and a lot of it's not has anything to do with me. I'm just around it and I see it and I think, man, why are these people so aggravated? The job itself looks good. Ask these guys to come back and fix these last couple of items, but don't characterize the entire job by the 5% you don't like. The thing is good, it's 95% of the way. Let's work together, encourage guys to come in and get the last 5% done. I think you'll get a better outcome. Man, people, if you make threats, they don't want to work for you. If you're an encouraging boss, people do want to work for you. I think you get your punch list done faster when guys actually want to come out and do a good job for you. So don't characterize the whole job off the 5% that you don't like. Just ask your crews to get in there and get it done. All right, guys, the 4th and final tip of this video on encouraging, using that as a tool, would be that encouraging your workforce, your guys, your office staff, whoever it is that's working for you, encouraging them and teaching them goes hand in hand. So when you ask people to do things in a way that or in a way that you want them to do, that maybe they don't see it possible, or if they've done a thing and it's not quite to your standard or your liking and you need them to redo a thing, and they may not actually know how to do it the way that you want them to do it. So that's where I say encouraging and teaching and or coaching go hand in hand. So you say, you know, they might actually get frustrated. You say, listen, I don't like that. I like everything else that you did, but these last few things, they're going to have to be changed because that's just what it is. So would you please change them? And they say, okay, well, we don't see how that could be any different. And you say, well, I see how it could be different. Let me show you what I want you to do. Right? I'm not aggravated at you. You're going to fix it. Now let me help you get your job done. I'm going to show you techniques that I have that you don't have. I'm going to show you a way to do it that you don't know about, that I do know about it, and I want it my way. So let me teach you how to do it that way. That way next time around, when this thing comes up, you can do it that way. Maybe save you time, maybe save you energy, right? And then we don't have this list. So teaching and encouraging. So if you want to be an encouraging boss, also learn how to be a good teacher or a good coach. Coach these guys, help them get better. You'll have less punch items, you'll have less things wrong at the end of a job, your crews will like you more, they'll have more confidence, things will go better for you, you'll make more profit, you'll make more money, right? Your guys, you can pay them more. It's a win for everybody. Guys, we'll see you on the next one.